Hi, my name is Stan Conrad from the Greek for All Institute, and in this video we're going to talk about the Greek accents, the breathing marks and the punctuation signs. Let's go!
Now let's talk about the breathing marks. If a word in Greek starts with a vowel, diphthong or a letter rho, it should have a breathing mark. And there are two types of breathing marks in Greek, the rough ones and the smooth. And the smooth one looks exactly like a comma, and it is written above the first letter of a Greek word, and the rough ones looks like a reverse comma. It is also written above the first letter of a word. And the rough breathing mark indicates that this first letter of a Greek word should have an initial h sound. Now let's look at a few examples. And the first word we're going to look at today is the word man. Man or a husband. It has a smooth breathing mark right here, which means that no special adjustments should be made in the way we pronounce this first letter of a word. And when it comes to reading Greek, we need to pronounce every single letter as we see it in the word. So first let's name every letter in this word. Alpha, nu, eta, and rho. Now let's read it together. Aner, aner, aner. A man, a husband. And another word which we're going to look at is the word which has a rough breathing mark, which means that we will need to bring this initial h sound when we read it. And this is a word day, a day. Now let's name every letter in this word. Eta, mu, epsilon, rho, alpha. Now let's read it. Hemera, hemera, hemera. There are two ways how you could pronounce this initial h sound. Some people prefer deeper pronunciation, which comes from the depth of your lungs. Hemera, hemera. And other people prefer more softer pronunciation like h, hemera. In this course, I'm going to use softer pronunciation h, hemera. Now, we need to pay attention to the breathing marks because they actually can change a meaning of a word. For example, there is this simple word n with a smooth breathing mark, which indicates that this is a preposition in, and the same two letters with a rough breathing mark indicates that this is a number 1. So as you can see, just the breathing marks can change the meaning of this simple word. So pay attention to the breathing marks. Now let's take a look at the 3 more examples. If a word in Greek starts with upsilon or a letter rho, it should always have a rough breathing mark. The breathing mark above the letter rho is silent. We don't need to pronounce it. If 2 letters rho stand together in one word, both of those letters will have a breathing mark, and the first one will be always smooth, and the second one will always be a rough one. But again, these breathing marks are silent. We don't pronounce them. Now let's read all of these words together. Hudor, 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 water. Rema, 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 a word. Eromenos, 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 strong. By now you probably noticed that besides the breathing marks, there are some other little things written above the words. These are Greek accents. Let's talk about them. There are 3 types of accents in Greek: the acute accent, the grave accent, and the circumflex accent. In the ancient times, these accents indicated the rising and the falling tone of a word. The acute accent showed that the tone of a syllable was rising. The grave accent indicated that it was falling. And the circumflex accent indicated that first the tone was rising and then falling. But in the modern pronunciation, that difference is lost. All 3 accents indicate one and the same, that the syllable upon which the accent falls should be stressed when we pronounce the word. So it serves the same purpose as in English. However, in English we don't put the accents above the words, but in Greek every word should have an accent. And now let's talk about the punctuation signs. There are 4 punctuation signs in Greek. The first ones are period and comma, and they correspond to period and comma in English. The next one is a semicolon, which corresponds to a question mark in English. So every time you see the semicolon in the biblical texts, it is actually a question mark in English, which indicates that that sentence in the Greek text is a question. And the last one is a colon, which is just a dot above the line, and it corresponds to a colon or a semicolon in English. Now, as we learned all of the rules of phonetics and pronunciation and punctuation in Greek, let's look at a few examples and practice reading Greek words. And the first word we're going to practice reading today comes to us from our logo, from this upper corner, and this is a word logos, meaning word. This is our accent, which means that we will need to stress this letter, this syllable as we read it. First, let's name every letter in this word. Lambda, omicron, gamma, omicron, stigma. Now let's read it together. Logos, 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 a word. And the next word also comes to us from our logo. It is the word teacher. This is our accent right here. We'll need to stress this alpha. First, let's name every letter in this word. Delta, iota, delta, alpha, sigma, kappa, alpha, lambda, omicron, stigma. Now let's read it. Didaskalos, 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 a teacher. And the last word is a pretty easy one. You can do it on your own. This is our smooth breathing mark. If a first letter of a word is a capital letter, the breathing mark shifts a little bit forward and is written in front of the first letter. This is our accent, so we'll need to stress this alpha as we read it. But first, let's name every letter here. Alpha, beta, rho, alpha, alpha, mu. Let's read it together. Abraham, 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 Abraham. This concludes the grammar for the lesson 1.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel to receive more videos like this. And if you go to our website, greekforall.com, you can sign up to our best top-of-the-art vocab building tool, the word of the day. And it's absolutely free. It's going to come right into your emails. Check it anywhere, any day, on your computer or on your phone. And finally, if the video course is not complete yet, you can still learn Koine Greek. Check out my books. Easily explained grammar, easy to follow, easy to learn. You don't need expensive university classes, thick textbooks, or years spent on grammar. Forget about them. These 2 books are all you need. I put my heart into them to help you. The links to the website are in the description box below. Thank you for your support. Thanks for watching, and all the best.